Hi students, in this video I am going to discuss about what is abstraction, why this abstraction is considered in developing the software project, and what are the advantages of abstraction and types of abstraction. So, let us start the class. So, let us see the definition of abstraction. So, abstraction is a process of describing a problem at high level of representation without bothering about its internal details. So, how the just we will give how a what is the solution to the problem by hiding its implementation. So, how the problem is going to be implemented is hidden and abstracted. So, that is nothing but abstraction. So, why this abstraction principle is taken into account in developing the software project means with improving programming technologies and changing nature of the customer needs, it becomes very difficult for the software engineer to keep all the things in mind. So, these are the two major problems software engineers are going to be faced while developing the software project, that is technological advancements, and another one is changing nature of the customer needs. So, customer needs are going to be changed regularly and technological advancements are going to be taken regularly. So, these two things are the major problem for the software engineer in developing the software. So, he can't keep all the things together in their minds. So, therefore, to overcome such complexity of technological advancements problem and changing nature of the customer needs problem, they mainly concentrate on the essential details of the system and they delay the unnecessary details. So, they do not bother about the unnecessary details. There comes the definition. So, abstraction is a process of describing a problem at higher level of representation without bothering about its internal details, right. So, that is initially a problem is considered at the conceptual idea in an abstract manner rather than its implementation details. Just initially we are going to see the problem in conceptual view. Okay. Then here implementation details is going to be abstracted, hidden. Okay. I want to give a small example for this abstraction. So, if we consider the bank accounts, so banks have several kinds of accounts like saving account, deposit account, recurring account and current account. So, and each account holds money of the account holders, right. And for each of these accounts, they provide facilities for depositing, withdrawal and balance inquiry. So, for each account, for saving account we can deposit, withdraw and balance the inquiry how much amount was available in the account. For deposit account we can do recurring and current account. So, here a bank account can be declared as an abstract manner with depositing, withdrawing and balance inquiry features without describing how these operations will be performed on particular account. So, their implementations might be different for different accounts. For saving account, one type of implementation may be there, and for current account, one type of implementation. Their internal representation might be different, but these are the common features like depositing, withdrawing and balance inquiry. So, here the bank account is declared as an abstract manner without describing how these operations will be performed on the account types. So, with this example you have been clear that what is the meaning of abstraction, and this abstraction concepts was many of the software designers and architects widely using this abstraction concept while designing the software. So, while designing they do not give the software designers or architects will not give the entire solution, how the solution is going to be done. Just they will give the conceptual view of the system, right. Just what is going to be happen, what are the things have to be there, how many modules are there, the relationship between the module, just they give the conceptual view of the system, designers. So, here the designers use this abstraction concept while on architects also use this designing concept while designing the software, right. So, let us see some of the advantages of abstraction concept in designing the software. So, first one is separates design from implementation, right. So, while using this abstraction concept, it separates design from implementation, which is easy to understand and manage. So, which can be easily managed and understood. Next one is it also helps in problem understanding and maintenance. So, we will see only the conceptual view of the system, right. So, the conceptual view can be easily understood and which can be maintained. Next one reduces the complexity. It reduces the complexity of modern computer programming for software engineers as well as software users. And next one, program organization. So, it helps in organizing the program that can be generalized for recovering common problems, and it can be also reused. The design developed by the designers can also be reused. And next one is promotes scalability. It also promotes scalability and helps in making decisions early. Design making early decisions early, right. And next we will see the levels of abstraction. There are two levels of abstractions are there. So, one is high level abstraction and another one is low level abstraction. So, here the software engineering practitioners think software development is movement in different levels of abstraction. For example, software designers move from global view of the system, that is high level of abstraction, to low, that is detailed view of the system, that is nothing but low level of abstraction. So, in terms of customer needs, if we consider in terms of customer needs, the software engineers start with the global view of the application content, that is high level of abstraction, and write the source codes of different smaller components, that is nothing but lower level of abstraction. And there are many intermediate abstraction levels in between these two levels, right. So, there are two levels of abstraction, that is high level of abstraction and low level of abstraction. And coming to the types of abstractions, there are three types of abstractions are there. One is functional abstraction, second one is data abstraction, and third one is control abstraction. So, first we will see what is the meaning of functional abstraction, right. So, functional abstraction here specifies the functions that a module perform in the system. So, it is specified by the function name with its parameters and return type. So, here functional abstraction is produced through partitioning the problem into subparts, right. So, in this project we will divide the project into modules and sub modules. So, here the functional abstraction abstracts the just specifies function name, function parameter and what type of value is going to be written by that particular function. So, what operation is going to be done, it can be clearly understood by seeing these three concepts. So the common feature in the subparts are accumulated in groups that are represented that represents the functional abstraction. Right. For example, function prototype, function call, subroutines are some of the examples of functional abstraction. So, if we take a calculator, a small example, a calculator is a functional abstraction of various types of calculations. Like in calculator we can find out sine value, cos value, square root value, log value. So, here calculator is the functional abstraction which performs many functions. In calculator just we will it specifies the function name, just key on the top of the key we will see that function name and we will pass a value, then it is going to be calculated. So, how it is going to be calculated is abstracted, right. Just we will see the name, function name, and we will pass a value, that is parameter, and according to the value we have given, the output is going to be displayed on the screen. So, how it is going to be calculated is abstracted, right. So, that is function abstraction. And next one, data abstraction. So, data abstraction specifies the entities or data objects that provide certain services in the external environment. In data abstraction, essential details are given and detailed views are suppressed. So, like what is the name of the value or class name, variable name, package name. These are the examples of data abstraction, where just it displays the name of the variable or name of the class and how it is going to be stored internally, how the data is going to be stored is abstracted, right. So, these are some packages in Java, classes, structures in C. Data types, abstract data types are some of the examples of data abstraction. How, which type of data structure is used, how data is going to be stored, it is all abstracted, just we will give the name, right. So, these are data abstraction. Next, control abstraction. So, here control abstraction provides the operational characteristics of the system without describing their implementation details. How it is going to be implemented is abstracted. For example, looping statements, iterations, multi-threading concept in Java, these are all the examples of control abstraction. So, here control abstraction is defined to perform some operations using subroutines, and these subroutines perform certain operations and return to the caller program. So, how it is going to be returned back, it is all abstracted. Just we will call a function, the function then it goes for the how it is going, then it goes for the function definition is going to be executed and returned back to where we have called. So, how this control, how it is going there and how it is getting back is going to be abstracted. So, these are some examples of control abstraction. So, there are three types of abstractions: functional abstraction, data abstraction and control abstraction. So, with this we all have understand that what is meant by abstraction, why it is used in developing a software and types of abstractions. Okay. Thank you.